In today's conversation, I want to give you a full dropshipping course for real beginners with no clue. So here's an overview I want you to really think about. First of all, let's answer the question that people ask all the time. Can you start a dropshipping business for free? The answer is yes. You can actually start a dropshipping business for free. The only thing is you have to be aware of that the cost that you have to incur at some points anyway. But when we talk about dropshipping in general, you actually do not have to actually to invest anything from the get-go, but you just need to do some research. So if you do not want to spend money, you need to spend some time and research to do research. And it's really important to understand that you got to really find like the right products. Of course, you got to find the right suppliers, and most importantly, you got to really define the right niche. It's really important to really have a clear idea about the niche you want to go after. Okay, and the thing is that you have a lot of players, a lot of website designers online, which actually focus on e-commerce, that would allow you to build an e-commerce store for free. And the thing here is that, I mean, of course, the features, the functionalities, the capabilities of that website will not be as really great at first. But hey, listen, when you start and you're trying to really save cash, you can actually just go with Wix. For example, you have Wix, you have GoDaddy Commerce, you have so you have a lot of players that will allow you to build a website for free. Sometimes you can even have a free trial. You can actually enjoy a free trial version of those website builders, of those e-commerce platforms such as Shopify and other players. But the thing is, you can start for free, not a problem. You can try Big Cartel, you can have Equid. So you have a lot of possibilities there. But the thing is that just remember, you can start for free, but you are going to spend some time doing research on, again, the target audience, the products that you need to really have in your dropshipping store, but also you need to think about the niche that you want to go after, because the niche determines everything. Don't try to sell all kinds of products. You want to be very focused. You want to be very you have to narrow down your niche. You have to narrow down your target audience. Okay, so research is the first thing you want to pay attention to if cash is a problem for you. So I just wanted to say that right off the bat, so everybody is clear that yes, it is indeed possible to start a dropshipping business for free, but you got to really invest your time and resources in research. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a great pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. Now, let me give you a few pro tips here so we have a clear idea. So when we talk about dropshipping, how much does it cost to start a dropshipping business? I mean, the thing is that there is no clear answer. There's no definite answer. It really depends on your strategy. It depends on your vision. It's really important to understand that, of course, you have to think about a few things. No matter what dropshipping niche you're in, you are going to have a few sort of a basic cost that you are going to incur at some point anyway. You can start for free, but after a while, you're going to have to think about a few things. For example, you have to think about setting up a website. So basically, you have a lot of players out there. You have Shopify, you have Sell the Train, you have Big Cartel, you have Wix, you have GoDaddy. And so we actually have a video about the best e-commerce platforms, but you need to choose an e-commerce platforms. Or you can say, you know what? I'm going to ditch the e-commerce platform and I'm going to be on an e-commerce marketplace. So if you go with an e-commerce marketplace, you're talking about what? Amazon, you're talking about eBay, you're talking about Etsy, but those platforms also will make you incur a fee. So either way, you're going to have to pay something to actually have a presence online. And that presence can actually, that presence will cost you somewhere from $20 all the way to $50. So $20 to $50. So that's setting up a website or being on an e-commerce marketplace. Now you have to think about, if you set up a website, then you have to think about domain name. Now, if you go with an e-commerce marketplace, you don't have to think about domain name. But if you set up your website, you got to think about domain name. We're talking about $15 a month. I mean, not a month, a year. So $15. So that's about $1 a year or $1.50 a year. And you can go to GoDaddy, for instance, to go to a domain name registrar. You got to think about plugins and apps. So there are plugins and apps you are going to need to actually have a great dropshipping business, because your store, no matter what, there are certain things that it doesn't have. Okay. You also might need to have themes to make your website look good. We're talking about, the themes that will go from $80 all the way to $200, from WooCommerce all the way to Shopify. And it's really important that there is no monthly recurring fee here, but it is a one-time fee. And you might also think about ads. You can place ads on Facebook. You can place ads on YouTube. You can place ads on Amazon. So those ads will really like up. So they will really spike up your cost. So at some point, think about spending somewhere from $100 all the way to $150 a month when you start, at least. Okay, $150 a month. That's really reasonable. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about a full dropshipping course for real beginners with no clue. So here are the steps I want you to really think about. How do you start a dropshipping business effectively? Okay. Now, first of all, you have to do market research. And the thing is that when we talk about doing market research, it's all about having the right strategy. So basically, let's say you want to sell shoes or you want to sell whatever you want to sell. You got to start with market research. You got to ask yourself, okay, what kind of products are really popular in my field right now? Let's say you're passionate about gym shoes, right? So you've done some research and you know that some gym shoes are more popular than others. And so by doing market research, you can actually find out the gym shoes that are really popular right now, and the model people are buying. And so when we talk about doing market research, you have a lot of ways to do market research. You can go on Google, you can go on social media. You can actually because see, the thing is, you can only sell, you should only sell stuff that you know more about. Okay, stuff you can talk about for hours and hours and hours and not getting tired of it. So basically, you know exactly, if you are passionate about gym equipment or gym shoes for that matter, you know what's really popular right now, what's popping right now in the market. So you have software that allows you to do market research, so you have a clear idea what's really popular right now. So you have a lot of ways. You can even go on Amazon, you can go on eBay, you can go on Walmart Marketplace, so you have a clear idea what's popular. And the second thing is you want to study your competitors. So number one, you want to actually do market research. Number two, you need to study your competitors. There are a lot of ways to actually study your competitors. And so if you're going to set up, let's say, a Shopify store, you want to study your competitors on Shopify to really see what kind of strategies they have. Because again, you need to learn from your competitors. What are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? So you are only learning. You are only sort of picking up what they're doing right. It's all about learning from the best in your field. Because if they're doing something right, you know that this thing resonates with your target audience. There's a reason why they're better than you for now. So you want to study them really, really intentionally. If you do a good job at that, you'll be learning a lot of things, and that's what you want to do. So number one, you want to do market research. Number two, you want to study your competitors. Now, when we talk about studying your competitors and doing market research, you can try to do it manually, or you can do it with software. You have all kinds of software that can help you actually, get some kind of a competitive advantage. So you have a clear idea what's really working in the industry, especially when it comes to the most important keywords that you should actually your strategy should revolve around. The next thing you want to do here is to find reliable suppliers. So when we talk about actually you actually having a great drop shipping strategy, you got to have reliable suppliers, because those suppliers are going to dictate the success rate of your dropshipping store. You have to understand, without quality products, you're not going to have success, and without reliable suppliers, you're not going to have quality products. And those things, there is a strong correlation between reliable suppliers and quality products. This is why you have to really figure out what really works for you and really just go gung-ho on that strategy. So when we talk about finding reliable suppliers, you have all kinds of strategies to actually find reliable suppliers. Obviously, everybody talks about going on marketplaces like AliExpress, but you have a lot of specialized players that can help you find reliable suppliers. So you have databases that go from worldwide brands all the way to dropshipping suppliers such as Doba. Okay, you have Spockets. You can try you can try a Zenbit. You can try Zendrop. You can try Deezers. So you have a lot of players out there that basically will vet those suppliers for you. So you have a clear idea that you're working with reliable suppliers. And you need to also figure out your platform. So that's step number 4. So when we talk about figuring out your platform, it's really important to understand that you have actually 2 types of strategies for you to actually bring your dropshipping dreams to market, your dropshipping dreams to fruition. You have 2 strategies. You have either the e-commerce marketplace option or the e-commerce platform option. So when we talk about the e-commerce marketplace option, we're speaking about you actually having a presence on Amazon, for instance, having a presence on Etsy, having a presence on eBay, having a presence on Facebook Marketplace, having a presence on Walmart Marketplace. This is the marketplace option. And the second option is the e-commerce platform option. Here we're speaking about having a presence on setting up a Shopify store, setting up a WooCommerce store, a BigCommerce store, a Big Cartel store, an Adobe Commerce Magento store, an Ecwid store. So it really depends on what really works for you. A Ship for Shop store. It really depends on what really works for you. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about a full dropshipping course for real beginners with no clue. The next thing you'll have to do here is to actually market your products. So the thing is, simply because you have a great set of products doesn't mean that those products will sell by themselves, right? You need to market them. So when we talk about marketing them, we're speaking about you having a promotion strategy that will help you actually market your products from the get-go. And so there are many marketing strategies that you can try your hands on, and it's all about what really works for you, okay? And everything can start from your SEO strategy, your search engine optimization. Are you having the right keywords? Are you having the right optimization? In other words, are you optimizing your titles? Are you optimizing your store? Are you optimizing your product details? Okay, those are important elements because those are going to point your visitors to the right sort of actions that you want them to have. And I'm not even talking about having traffic from Google, right? You want to place the search algorithms because if you have if you have the right strategy, you'll be selling like on autopilot. So that's what you need to have. So when we talk about marketing your products, marketing has several layers here. People talk about, well, I want to advertise. Yeah, of course, you might want to advertise on Google. You might want to have a PPC campaign on Google. So price per click campaign on Google. You might want to try to do the same thing on Amazon. You might want to do the same thing on Facebook. It really depends. Or you can try just to have like a website. Okay, you can have a Facebook, like a social media strategy. So where you are advertising your products, you can try to work with influencers. So you have a lot of ways to actually promote your products, okay, and market your products. And you also want to sort out your product returns. So this is kind of important because you are going to have returns. If you are going to be in dropshipping, you are going to have returns. And we have seen in our research is that as many as 30% of products are eventually returns for. And myriad of reasons. I mean, customers have stuff that you can't really predict. People don't like certain products. They buy them. They think they will love them, but they return them. So you have to account for those 30%. And so it's going to happen. So just imagine that 3 products out of 10 that you send will be returned. So if you actually have that in mind, you will not be surprised. You will not be frustrated. It is part of the game. Okay. You need to expect it. So if you are going to be successful in dropshipping over the long run, just expect that you are going to have product returns. So it's and when we talk about product returns, we're speaking about refunds as well, because people might say, you know what, I don't want to have a replacement. I want to have a refund. So you have to be aware that this happens, and you have to be prepared for it. Now, make sure that you actually are limiting the amount of returns that you have to a minimum, so that you can be successful. The next thing you want to do here is to also A/B test. I mean, we're talking about A/B testing all the time. This is really, really all the time. And the cool thing is that when we are talking about A/B testing, we're talking about you actually testing several variants of your products or your landing page or your store to see which one works for you. And when we talk about A/B testing, we're talking about also making sure that you test out the product description. You test out the picture. Okay. Remember, people come to your store for several reasons. And people come to your store, maybe the lead was strong, the lead call was strong, but once they are on your store, the question is, what is your call to action? What is the strategy you want them to actually adapt? What kind of action do you want them to adopt while on your store? Okay, what is your call to action? What is your ultimate goal? So this will have a clear idea. So when we talk about A/B testing, you can A/B test all kinds of stuff. You can A/B test all kinds of stuff. You can A/B test literally every component of your marketing campaign and even your website. Okay, for example, if you realize that your website is not converting ads the way you want it, you can A/B test by changing your website copy, colors, CTA, call to action buttons, everything. Okay, and you have flexibility here. It really depends on you. The next thing I want you to do here is to keep trying. Do not be discouraged. A lot of dropshippers, especially at the beginning, they can be discouraged real fast. No, you do not want to discourage right now. Don't drop the ball. Okay, don't drop the ball when the going gets tougher. That's when I want you to be tougher and tougher and tougher. It's one of those things where you have to have a strategy and knowing that this is a long-term game. You're not going to actually find dropshipping success in one day or 1 month or whatever. Don't listen to folks or people telling you on social media, well, I have a 30-day dropshipping success, 30-day dropshipping lottery or whatever. Those things don't happen. They happen online. They might happen on YouTube, but in real life, when you have a dropshipping business, if you're trying to be successful, you're not going to find success like quickly. I'm not saying it might not happen. It might happen. Stuff happens, but the thing is that just be in here. Be in the game for the long haul, and you are going to have true success, true sustainable success. Okay, so keep trying and trying and trying to see exactly what works. Because you know what, something's going to work. Something's going to stick eventually. And what does eventually means? Well, it can be 6 months, it can be 1 year, it can be 2 years, but be in it for the long haul. I want to share with you a bonus here. If you're still with me here, I just want to share something very interesting with you. Actually, you can buy a dropshipping store. I mean, basically, if you think that it's just too complicated to actually build a dropshipping store, you can actually just buy a store that's already established, and you can really try to see what really works for you. But now that store must be profitable, though. I mean, there are all kinds of calculations that go into play in terms of setting the right price that you need to pay for a dropshipping store, but it's totally possible to actually just buy a store and actually convert the store and really sort of scale the store. Now, when we talk about the buying a dropshipping store, there are some elements, there are some factors, there are some criteria that you want to look into to make sure that your ROI, your return on investment, is positive. First of all, think about the domain age. So the older, the better. So the website must be as old as possible. The performance. You want to buy a store that has sizable traffic and good conversion. In other words, simply because the domain is old doesn't mean that the site is performing, right? You have a lot of old websites that are not performing at all. So we want to look at the dynamics here. You want to look at the monetary dynamics of the store, the revenue dynamics, to make sure that store is really worth it. And you also need to think about niche. So you want to buy a store in an unpopular niche because this will only drain your money away. You want to basically buy a store in a very, very, very popular niche, because do not try to be like, I want to go where the competition is not. Well, the competition is not there. There is a reason why the competition is not there. So you want to revolve around a niche that is popular. Very important. And also you want to make sure that your website, the website you want to buy, is responsive. In other words, it has to be mobile friendly. Otherwise, you're not going to make sales. Remember, nowadays, a lot of more than three quarters of purchases are happening through mobile devices. So you want to actually have a website that is mobile friendly. Okay. And because otherwise, again, you're not going to have like a long-term vision here, and you need to have a long-term vision. So overall, those are the things I really want you to think about. You have the opportunity to buy a dropshipping store. So the thing in general here is that dropshipping is great for beginners, wonderful, as long as those beginners, including you, understand that it takes time. You can't just you can't just start any business for that matter. When you start any business, there is a learning curve. There is a period where you have to go through trials and errors. You have to go through some challenges, but once you actually are above, you are beyond that period. you can start seeing some interesting facts about the business, some riches. Okay, and it's the same thing with dropshipping. It takes time, it takes work, it takes hard work, it takes dedication. But once you are able to understand what really works for you, and you'll find a 1, 2, or 3, or a few products that are successful, winning products, that is, you will start finding some revenue boost. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I'll just share with you our full dropshipping course for real beginners with no clue. So I give you the overview. I give you the pro tips. I give you the steps you need to really follow. Do market research, study your competitors, find reliable suppliers, figure out your platform, market your products, sort out product returns, A/B test, and keep trying. And then I share with you the bonus where you have to buy a dropshipping store if possible. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.